It's me, I'm back. And here in my hotel room, I went today to go, I don't know, should I be a little bit over here? Maybe I'll play something, maybe not. Maybe I'll put some art here. I've done a little bit, not as much as I'd like to have done. I feel like I waste my time a lot. Even over here, I waste it with silly things. But today I went to immigration and I got an extension of stay, so that's nice. It was something that I was kind of putting off, but waiting for a little bit. So I've got another 30 days. So to the beginning of April. So that's nice. I did something kind of dumb, though. I walked, which is normal for me, but dumb. And yeah, I walked. And that was relatively okay. Especially the walk there, because it was early in the morning. I walked. Started at 7:30 a.m. Got there at maybe like 9. No, I tried to start at 7:30. I started at 8. Got there around 9 or something like that. And my mom's talking to me. And get out of here. Oh my gosh, she still doesn't understand. Oh my gosh. I bought a plane ticket to Vietnam because to come here I had to have a plane ticket leaving. But if I got a round trip ticket, this is kind of how you have to do it. If I got a round trip ticket back to America, I would be, and then I got an extension of stay. I can't. It's hard to explain. It's probably won't make any sense. So anyways, I had to buy a throwaway plane ticket to Vietnam. I just won't be going to Vietnam. It was a little under $100. Kind of sucks to pay that amount and then throw it away, but it's better than throwing away a round trip ticket. So the issue is, besides it being hot when I walked back, and I didn't know how long it would take. It took around 4 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. And that's good. I didn't know if it would be longer than that. And so I didn't bring my laptop. So I walked back and I could have stopped at a cafe and cooled off and kind of chilled, relaxed. But I wanted to have my laptop and do stuff, and so I walked all the way back, and it was hot. And when I walked there and it was cooler, I actually wore a mask because right now in Bangkok, in Thailand in general, and I'm in Chiang Mai in Thailand, it's burning season. So they burn crops, and in another country nearby they burn crops, and so there's all this smog and smoke, and so the air quality was really bad today. So I wore a mask walking back because it was hot and I couldn't smell the smoke. But I was already feeling like not great, but I just didn't wear the mask walking back. Too hot. And I just went into that, I get into this fixed zone when I'm walking and I have to get somewhere here. And I'm like, don't care about the pain, don't care about how much water you're losing, sweating. Just get to where you're going. And I tried tried to just think of it that way, and I got back here, cooled off, and again walked not half, maybe halfway, but pretty much halfway back. And I went to this one place that I knew I could get something nice. Matcha, hot matcha is what I got. And then I could sit down and do some things on my laptop and just chill out. But by the time I got there, again, I've talked about this. I don't think the video is going to be very good quality. And I don't think people should watch my videos, but sometimes I get like 20 views, 3 views. I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's just for me at this point. But I just, I'll disappear for a couple months, so that's how it goes. Also, I'm not. What even is this? Vlog? I don't know. So, okay, that's it. That's the day. And I'll say this: when I was away, I pretty much was like falling asleep while I was just doing things. Because I was like so overwhelmed and exhausted, and my throat and my body feels like I'm getting sick. But this is how I was feeling for 2 weeks while I was in Bangkok, or a week and a half. And I think it was led by the really bad air. Like I kind of just, because I don't cough, the air doesn't make me cough. I don't realize that it's like really affecting me. So right now, I really feel, it's hard to explain. I feel like there's something in my throat. Like it's like the pre-sickness. Like if you're draining or something, it just feels like not good. From there, I talked to somebody yesterday, I talked to a therapist. Still do that. And I want to talk about being autistic. I have my one friend here. He's a foreigner here, but he works and lives here. And I hung out with him and his girlfriend on the weekend. And on Saturday, I was like, hey guys, well, what are you doing tomorrow? I was making small talk. I think in a way they thought that I was asking to like do more stuff. They invited me to go to they were like, oh, well, what do we do? And they decided to go to a hot springs. They have a hot springs nearby, about an hour drive away. And so they invited me, but it was all I was kind of unsure, but yeah, okay, so I just kind of was like, oh, okay, I don't want to make them feel like they have to do stuff with me or invite me places, but they did, and so we went on Sunday, and we get there. I did this thing, and I've done it before with other people, but because I don't know people really well, I don't do it often because I don't have the opportunity. I'm so kind of lost in what I'm doing and in what I want. I'm kind of, it's partially, I don't know if it's completely autistic. It's kind of, I've led a very sterile life, a very minimal life. And because I have this controlling nature, over controlling, I don't do much on my own, and I don't take risks and chances, and I try to. I mean, I'm freaking in Thailand. I'm put myself out there, go places, go to Thailand, go to places. You would think that I would be the guy who goes on adventures, but I'm really not. I try to. There's a lot of people outside partying or something. This is weird. They're very loud. Anyways, what happened was that I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what to do, especially with other people. It's hard enough on my own. I have my limited things that I want to do, like I'll go on my laptop, I'll do some things. I'll get my sketchbook out, I'll doodle, draw, sketch. And those, I'll get on my phone and look at Reddit. I have no clue what to do with other people. I don't know how to act around other people. I don't know how to, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know how to talk. And, often with the guy, I'll end up kind of just trying to get him to talk more because I don't know what to say. And when I'm talking about random regular things, my ADHD, my brain, I can't grab a hold of names and words. I couldn't think of the word for union, for the, unionization. We often end up talking about politics, which isn't great, but we don't know what else to talk about. And again, my life is so, I don't do enough, so I don't have hobbies besides drawing, and it's hard for people who don't do art to talk about that. It's hard for me to talk about it. So I was very worried while I was with them because I kind of just followed them, and I knew, and I was trying to figure out well, what else do I do, and where do I go, and what do I do? I don't know. I don't feel like I don't have any strong desires. I'm not whoa, this is so fun. I've never been to a hot springs before, so it was interesting. I didn't take videos because I just didn't want to record people. But there were people, maybe I can find some online that I can take from the Google Maps or something. But there were people putting their feet in the water. There's a stream. And then there was a swimming pool that me and the guy, we went to, and it's, I guess, spring bath water. And I don't know, I don't know what I thought it would be, but it's not what I thought it would be. I kind of always thought of hot springs as something you would do in a Nordic or a country where it was really cold. And then you'd go to a hot springs and you'd be ooh, it's cold. And you'd get a hot tub in the winter. That's kind of what I was thinking. Which I guess it would be but I also just thought it would seem cleaner or more, I don't know. It felt weird. There was this one area where there's a huge, it's a tourist thing, but it's a Thai tourist thing, where you buy some eggs, you take a basket, you put it in the water, and it boils the egg, which I guess is so fun. Yeah, isn't I guess I don't mean to I don't mean to put it down, but it's funny that it would be fun, right? Like you can boil your egg at home. Just turn on the stove, put the egg in there, boil the water. But I guess because it's natural hot springs that somehow that's like really cool and fun. I should have turned on another light. I feel stupid. So anyways, so I felt like I was shadowing them a lot. I use that word specifically because like later on we left, and I also think he might have upset his girlfriend because I spent so much time with him and was talking and blathering, and she just was kind of like having to sit there. So she was like probably bored out of her mind and annoyed, like I'm here too. I've had to deal with that before with two people, and I'm like the third wheel. It's hard, and because if I'm with them, I feel I'm the third wheel, you know. So I mean, even the night before we went out, we got drinks, and we went to we did different things. So and the whole time I'm just trying to figure out what do I do? How do I do this? And I don't have strong. I don't. When I'm going to a bar, when we went to a bar, I don't drink alcohol. But when I'm here, I do. But I'm always like, this isn't healthy. It reminds me of my dad because he's an alcoholic. I didn't have to drink alcohol, but I want to just be a normal person. And I also was just like, it's not fun to drink alcohol. And we were in a sports bar and there's soccer. And I don't give a shit about soccer. I can't even start to care. It's like it's weird to me. It's sports in general. So after we left this hot springs, we went to this cafe, and at one point the girlfriend was talking to my friend, and my friend started to say to her, and I was kind of just there but like not paying attention, and they talked in Thai, and he said, oh, you could say shadow. You could say shadow. It's like when someone follows around, and I'm like, are you assholes talking about me right now? And I think they were talking about me. And I was like, damn it, I follow him around too much. I follow her around too much. Both of them. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. And I know this guy could be on the autism spectrum. He's considered it. And I honestly kind of see that as well. I see that he's probably on the autism spectrum, but I'm much different. We all are, us autistics, as much as we have similarities, we have things that aren't similar. And he actually has a very strong drive to, but it's more than that. It's like, oh, I would like to do this. I would like to do that. And I talked to my therapist, and I brought all of this up. And I said to him, where I was just like trying to figure out, like, why am I like this? I mean, even when I'm by myself, I end up following, and not knowing where I'm going, and then I follow random people, and then I jump from them, and I just follow someone else. I'm like a little I said this in a video that I couldn't upload because there was no sound. Green light, green light. There was no sound. But I followed these two. I got out of a coffee shop and I didn't know where to go, and I started to walk, and I followed these two women, and all of a sudden I thought, wow, I'm like a little baby duckling. I'm like a little duckling. I don't know what I'm doing, or I'll just follow you. If it doesn't matter who it is, if it's a bigger thing than me, or if it's somebody that thinks, if it's someone that seems like they know where they're going, I just start following. Like a dumb little duckling. My therapist posited that it could be, I do so little that I've kind of shut everything down. I've shut my desires down. I've shut my goal-oriented behavior down. Yet, I don't know that that's... I can see it being kind of the issue a little bit. But I think it could be also an autistic thing. It could be, there are some autistic people that their ego is so great. Maybe like Elon Musk. He just believes that everything that he does is correct. And he's narcissistic, right? He's maybe both narcissistic personality disorder and autistic. I could see it being both, if that's a possibility. For me, it's almost like I forget myself, especially when I'm overwhelmed by the world. I forget. I don't know what I want. And I don't know how to get what I want. And I tried it. I'm going to try more to get myself to just go do shit. But right now, again, because of the money thing, I'm always thinking about trying to get good deals, trying to go to the right place. I've told myself right now in my head earlier, tomorrow you're going to go to that one coffee place that you like, do whatever on your laptop for a bit. When you leave, you're going to go like a block down that way, and you're going to get cheap. You're going to get that cheap pad thai and cheap, I don't know how to say it in Thailand, Thai, but rice with pork and basil. Let's get that. 2 things. Put the food in your stomach, because that's part of the problem. Not getting water, not getting food. And you want to, because I kind of did want to do that today at nighttime, but it got too late. And then I was going to try to get a foot massage today, but I showed up again to the cheap place. I showed up and they had everyone was working, and so I left. I try to force myself to do things that are fun, but I can't have fun because I always feel like I'm working with very little in terms of money. I guess it's so weird. It's so weird. I've got the money. I have the money, but I'm not making money when I get back to America. What I do for money is not something that gives me even... I know a lot of people, most people probably work because they just have to. It's just what they have to do. They don't go to work and go, "Oh, this is fun. I'm really glad to show up here." But for me, I guess because it's in my hands. whether or not I want to show up to work, if I'm doing Uber Eats, if I'm doing whatever. Everything I do is I determine when I'm going to do it, that kind of thing. And so there's nobody outside of me telling me you have to show up to work. And so I think every amount of money that I spend here is money I'm going to have to make up or make more at some other point in a way that I don't like at all. And yeah, okay, I could get on. I could go too long with that. But so that's from my autistic perspective. I just don't. There's also in the autism spectrum. There are people that are sensory seekers. There's sensory avoiders, but there's the people that feel too much. And sometimes in my life, I've felt way too much. A lot of times I feel too much, but a lot of times also, I feel deadened. Like I feel like everything is kind of not. There's no fun. There's no pleasure. There's no enjoyment. How much of that is me, like self-induced? How, my therapist is always, for years, he goes on about this idea that you can kind of get the fire going, stoke the flames and stuff. And at different times I've tried, but again, the problem always came back to money. You can't get the fire going unless I was around, if I was Thai and I didn't have money, I maybe would have other Thai friends and we could hang out and do stuff. Or if I was in America and if I ever got around people that didn't have money, they spent their money that they didn't have. And I just didn't, because I'm the way that I am. And everyone would assume that I had more than I did. And I grew up with more than a lot of people that have less, if that makes sense. I don't know. My parents have money. I don't have money. And I'm probably gonna cut all of that. Okay, so I don't know. That's some things that I've been thinking about. I probably should have talked about this a couple of days ago while it was more fresh in my mind and I was really thinking about it more. I'm trying to do these videos a little bit more often, partially for me because one of the things, again, autistic, I've heard there are people who are, vocally, external synthesizers. They need to externalize their thoughts in order to get them, to find them. And I think that's kind of, I wish I could come up with that, what it's actually called. I'll put it here. External something. I wonder if that's why I just kept going back to therapy, because it was really the only people that I could talk to and that I could really process, external processors. I could really process these things. And so to a degree, that's kind of what I do with these videos. It's me kind of just processing what I'm dealing with and what I'm thinking about. I will actually be going to a party area, and I don't really know why I am going there. I'll have to figure out something. Because I like the me walking videos. That's pretty much all I do. I walk, go to the coffee shop, walk, go to this, kind of get around a temple see a temple. Here's a temple. Hi. Wave to the temple. Walk around it a little while. A lot of graffiti stuff I'm attracted to, so I take videos of that and pictures. That's what I do. And then I'm alone, and I feel bad that I'm alone. But then I get around my friend and his girlfriend, and it's one of those weird things where I'm like I'm not your friend, but I'm his friend, and I don't know how I'm supposed to be with you. I don't know you, and I feel like you might judge me, and I don't know how to talk to her. It feels very, I talk to my therapist about this when I'm around them. Sometimes I feel they've got their lives together. Like they, not both, well, they have it together, but they also just have their lives going. They both have good jobs. They're both stable with their work. They're stable with their lives. They go and do, they go to see family and they just have that. It's like I don't know why they're not married. It's like being with a married couple. And then I'm just like some random dude that is kind of a loser and can't get his life together. I don't know. I start to get suppressive of myself. And that's what I do around people here, around my friend. I get suppressive. I don't know what I should say or what is safe to say or what I'll be judged for. And it's so funny because often when I do finally get judged, it's completely not who I am that they're judging. And I'm like, you're not even judging. Like, hey, judge me at least for what I do and what I am. Don't judge me for like what you think, because you're not even thinking correctly. And that can be anything. Sometimes it's somebody putting me like high up. Sometimes it's somebody putting me down low. Sometimes they're thinking that I'm like this. I remember one time driving Uber when I drove regular Uber, and this one woman got into my car and immediately looked at me and she's like, you're a Christian. Because I guess in that moment, I think my face seems very, because I take care of myself. I take care of the way I look. And because I have a baby face, I come across to people as juvenile and innocent and naive. And so I don't believe that when you're autistic, you find out, I was naive in a lot of different situations, but not the way that they think. Pure. They think I'm pure. Whatever that is. And they're just such but I think that's a lot of autistic. A lot of people who are on the autism spectrum, because they don't vibe, they're judged more by the way they look and appear, which either if you're good looking, that could be one thing. If you're young looking, if you're old looking, if you're black or person of color or something, they will slot you into whatever they slot you into quicker and in an othering way, more than just othering because you're black or something, or black people will other you and you'll go, you're acting white because but you're just fucking autistic, and they don't. That's happened to me throughout my life. People judging and thinking that they have an understanding of who I am, and then quickly, and where I figured that out, And I'm like, for the longest time in my life, I was like, why do you think I'm like that? What about me makes, like, I had no idea what it was I doing. And now I understand it was just because I was autistic and different and neurodiverse, whatever. Okay, all right. So that's the end of that. I kept going after I tried to end it like 5 times, but bye bye, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I love you, but not really because I don't know you. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye.